Started. Thanks for coming today. My name's Derek Rusher. There's a lot of people here that might not know. So Derek Rusher, I'm the president and CEO of the Kearney Chamber of Commerce, and we're thankful that we get to celebrate lots of fun ribbon cuttings in our community all the time. Stan and I get to do this, I don't know, twice a week on average, probably. Love what you've done with the place, Wendy. Are we gonna have another ribbon cutting? Was this the whole plan? We're like, yeah, you'll move in here someday, and we'll have another ribbon cutting because they're free by chamber benefit. So good strategy, right? Free marketing. Yep. But no, honestly, on behalf of the chamber and our team, we're thankful for your membership, but really we're thankful for your engagement. Wendy's involved in a variety of things chamber related, is always very supportive through leads groups and committees, and her role for other things that she does in the community and community connections she's involved with. Law enforcement appreciation, that we kind of piggybacked on some of the things that she did in the past, and just a great partner. And so, like I said, on behalf of the chamber, we just want to say congratulations to kwELITE and Exarban Mortgage, one of our newest chamber members. So thanks for recruiting for us too. So that's great. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Doug Brummels. He is the chair of the chamber board of directors. So, Doug.
All right. So on behalf of the board of directors, I want to thank you for being a member. Thank you for growing our community, for your new brand here, and congratulations on behalf of the board of directors. Here you are.
Thank you very much.
And secondly, to Sally, we want to thank you for growing in our community as well. On behalf of the chamber board, here's your first dollar profit.
Mayor?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, yes. Don't step on the mayor's toes.
I've known these two for a long time, and then we just give each other crap all the time. I'm really happy to come up here because, Kilowatt Elite, I thought you were promoting MPPD. Very cool. So I just want to thank you for doing that. But anyway, on behalf of the citizens of Kearney, it's always great when we have people who've been doing business in a long time in our community expand and grow and bring new ideas. And I don't know how many people here work for them, but probably a good share, and you'll keep growing too. And so thank you for everything you guys do in our community. And she refiled for school board too, so campaign sign. So anyway, thank you and congratulations, and we'll be back when things get finished up.
Absolutely. You hopefully won't have drywall dust on you. All right, well, I'm going to go first, and then I'll let Sally, and then we'll kind of rotate down the line. So I just kind of want to share the story of how this happened. So many of you have been a part of our lives for a very long time. And Kim, can you hear me in the back? Okay, good. I've got a big girl voice. Anyways, real estate has been my passion, as so many of you know, and growing Kearney and providing employment and providing opportunity are the things nearest and dear to my heart. And as I look around this room, so many of you have been a part of that. Title companies, bankers, lenders, friends, business supporters, my realtors are here, and it's just been an amazing journey. This change, I know a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you just kind of did something a few years ago. This is very different. This is very personal. And Colleen, would you mind grabbing the picture behind you? A very special lady that I got to meet pre-COVID in 2019, taking my GRI classes, is this beautiful woman. Her name is, thank you, Darlene Steeple. And we were taking classes together along with Shay, who was also there. And we just connected. It was kind of one of those special, God visits. And we just stayed connected through the last few years. And last April, Darlene started calling me saying, Wendy, you need to join us. I'm like, no, I'm fine. We were on our way to Ohio, and I'm like, I just can't talk right now. I'm going to Ohio right now for a college visit. She goes, well, we need to talk. And she continued to persist and call me and drop little notes. And it was just this sweet, endearing thing. This past year, Darlene passed away from COVID and impacted many people. And there's some people that are related here today. Tom is here, his daughter's here. I know Emily had to bolt out of here, but Emily is like another person, I believe, Emily Ridgway here in our community. And Renee finally kind of pulled herself together after that devastating moment and started calling me, going, why was Darlene talking about you so much? Why is your name in Darlene's office? And so we met over wine with Sally, just a little evening out at the conference table, and the vision was shared with me why Darlene wanted me to be part of kwELITE. And after months of prodding and research and praying and soul searching, on December 31st, I spent New Year's Eve with Renee in her office with my husband Chuck, and we made the decision to make this change. And so in a very quick amount of time, as you can imagine, by February 1st, we were kwELITE. I want to thank Mr. Combs as well as being a part of this process, and Renee having this vision of what the kwELITE brand is. A special thank you to Darlene for believing in me and thinking so highly of me in this process. And I get to hang out with Sally, her in my space. So there's just been a lot of fun things about that. So I know a lot of people have asked about how and why this happened and why it happened so quickly, but it definitely had a purpose. And our purpose is to provide housing for the Kearney and surrounding area, Custer County, Dawson County, Kearney County. My team is spreading out, and Sally can service them all, along with some more things to come in the coming months. So, Miss Sally, do you want to share?
I don't know if I want to go after that. Wow. My story was kind of as connections also. So a few months ago, I got reacquainted with Tamara Toof out of Lincoln. And Tamara had come out to my house, and we were visiting, and she's like, oh my gosh, you really have got to meet my friend Renee. I'm like, well, okay, I'll meet your friend. I don't know Renee, but I'll meet your friend. So mortgages have been a passion of mine, but so is debt management. And they go hand in hand. This last year, I celebrated paying off $15.6 million of debt for people in 6 years' time. I'm very proud of that. But how that happened and how the whole concept started was years ago with my husband and I with Advantage Financial Group. I had a vision to help people be able to get a mortgage. Most people who had bad credit or had credit issues or had high debt to income ratios didn't know what to do, didn't know who to turn to. And I was like, I think I can teach them how to get out of debt. And my husband's like, oh my God, I don't know where you're coming up with this concept. I'm like, I'm telling you, we can do this. Now, trust me, I didn't charge people at first, which he's like, we got to get a better business plan than this. You're not paying the bills. But slowly, I would get them out of debt, I would clean up their credit, and we would turn around and do mortgages for them. So unbeknownst to me, Tamara introduced me to Renee. And Renee's like, oh my gosh, you got to meet my friend Nick. And I'm like, wow, I'm meeting a lot of people here. Fast forward, I met her husband, who I had worked with 20 years prior in the banking industry. So I am so excited because it is relationships that build this world, true relationships, not through your phone, just texting somebody all the time. It's the sit down, it's the face-to-face. It's really getting to know that person and their heart speaking to you. And I believe finding that niche and building a relationship with someone is the best way to get them the mortgage, to know that that mortgage is right for them. And thank goodness Renee said, Nick, have you hired her yet? And I'm like, gosh, I thought I was already hired. What's going on? So Nick was pretty quiet, but I guess I was hired because they let me have an office in Wendy's space. So I am just very, very grateful for the support of my husband, for the support of the Toofs, Renee, Nick, Jeff, and of course, getting to hang out with Wendy every single day. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You guys want to follow that at all?
So my kids asked me today what I was doing, and I said I'm looking forward to a ribbon cutting in Kearney because the mayor's going to be there and I get to speak. I had no idea who else would be here, and I really didn't know the mayor would be there. I just wanted my kids to think I was impressive. So
It's okay.
we'll get you another one.
That's fine.
Don't touch it.
Yeah, I am klutz. Yeah, everybody knows it. My husband's like, yeah, my daughter.
No worries.
We have a broom.
So Renee and Dar are the center of this existing here in Kearney. The idea of KW Elite was on the heels of our real estate team we had in Omaha, Nebraska called Omaha's Elite Real Estate Group. And we grew from 70 sales a year to over 700 sales a year in 6 years in a Berkshire Hathaway office and a indie brokerage, MP Dodge. And in 2019, we felt like the things that Omaha's Elite represented was much bigger than just our 30-person team. And it's bigger than the 150-person team that we are all now associated with. It's truly, the goal is to make a difference in the lives of tens of thousands of people across the country. And so without the support of Renee, we wouldn't have ever been able to launch KW Elite. And along the heels of KW Elite, there's all the other businesses that go along with it. Mortgage, title, insurance, and the list goes on and on and on. And we wanted to bring the real estate industry something they'd never seen before. A hybrid, tech-powered office that puts the consumer and the agent at the center of the transaction so that we bring the business back to the consumer of Kearney, the consumer of Omaha. The story that we've talked about with Darlene, the thing that's kind of interesting with that is the first time Renee, and it was funny, after they met, we spent 3 hours and she walked out and Renee tells me the story and says, I don't trust him.
Exactly.
1 year later, I'm on a party bus dancing on top of her. Her husband didn't hear that. So I know I'll get emotional sharing it, but I think what matters most is we all have businesses and we all make money and we have to take care of our families, but that's not what it's about. Taking care of the family is what it's about. It's not about the money that we're generating. It's about connecting with people and doing our best to serve the people that are in our lives. And that's what Darlene represented. That's what KW Elite represents. That's what we as the leadership team represent. And nothing to me spoke more than Darlene's testament of her belief in Renee and her belief in the KW brand and her belief in the agents than the fact that she gave her last several years of her life to KW to serve her family. Her daughter Lindsay is here now, and I have heard that she was able to pay off a lot of your family's student loan debt. I don't know who all it applied to, but she helped people pay off debt. The whole world was about serving others, and that's what it's about for us. And they had opened up some time for us to be able to speak at, I don't know if it's called as a wake the night before. I keep saying the funeral, but it's not the funeral. People correct me. And when I approached to speak, I got to see Darlene, and she was wearing the same shirt I'm wearing right now. And I don't know how many of you have seen someone be buried in their company shirt. Typically, that's like their worst nightmare. And Darlene always said she's kind of a big deal, and she is a big deal. And she represents what our brand represents. And I'm grateful to be here, to be able to spend this time with you guys. Thank you.
How do you follow that? They say you attract what you are, and I would agree. I think the first time Darlene spoke of you, Wendy, she was on her way to sell you our old Berkshire signs, which I don't know where those are at this point, but your name came up over and over again. And then meeting Sally for the first time, she walked in like she owned the place with a bottle of wine and said, so what are we doing? Are we ordering? What's happening? And so, yeah, I'm proud of what you guys have done in this short amount of time, and we look forward to all the growth that's coming. And you know, honestly, it's just awesome. It's awesome to be here. So, and your team is really behind you, and just like the rest of us. So, like I said, there's a lot more growth to come, and I look forward to all of that. So, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Nick, you're gonna be a man of
Big speech.
many words.
Thank you.
No, I'm just very thankful to, Renee and Jeff. Renee introduced me to Sally. She just aligns with Exorbitant Mortgage with just everything that we want to do in the community, just here in Kearney, just serving the Kearney people and helping them get into, out of debt, and then also getting into the mortgage. And she's just been super positive and just very excited to have her as part of Exorbitant Mortgage.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't do what I do. And don't do what I do.
Do you think you can see the ground? Can you see the ground in the picture? Matt, can you see the ground in the picture? Hold it. We can pull it out if you want.
I can pull it out.
You
Okay.
gonna help me?
Are we cutting it together? Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna do a.
Hold on, yeah.
We're gonna wait for me. I'm gonna do a picture. They'll have you count to 3 before you cut.
Don't cut your hair, Renee.
Okay.
Renee, don't get your fingers in the scissors.
Exactly. I'm gonna do another picture. Okay, hold on. We're gonna do a. Okay. On 3.
Real tight.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you so much, everyone. Please enjoy.
Thank you.
You're welcome to stay as long as you want. If you didn't get a chance to sign in, please sign in. And we are giving away a Menards gift card because obviously we need to support homes. We need to update your home so we can list it and sell it for you. We need listing.
All right, you're here. That's all that so much.
It was on the hill. I can't bend over.